got another guy that's around the team. How you doing, sir?
Great. My name's Johnny.
Johnny, right? Man, let's talk about this season, man. How do you feel about it?
Great. I feel amazing. We're so deep, and it's a lot of fun every day. They put in a lot of work. It's just fun to work with these guys.
Yes, sir. How long have you been around the team?
I've been with the team for 3 months as a grad assistant, and they got so much better in the past 3 months. It's unbelievable.
Yes, sir. Now, I'm sure you heard about the breaking news. What's the vibe been around the team so far?
Business as usual. We got to come in here and we got to win. We got to dominate every single on the glass. Our physicality is not going to change. We got to come in and play. That's it.
So what can we expect tonight from the Tigers?
Got next man up. Guys got to step up and they got to be ready to go. Plain and simple.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
No problem.
Right. Got the legendary Mr. Doc Holliday with me. Doc,
What's up?
I know you heard about it. What's your vibe about the news?
I mean, I'm just extremely disappointed, man. It's like NCAA, man. It's a clown show. I mean, I'm not even talking as a sports director at a TV station. I'm talking as a Memphis Tiger, former football player at the University of Memphis. A guy who only reason I wanted to play football at Memphis State is because I was such a huge Memphis State basketball fan.
So you got a big game next week, obviously, at Oregon. How well do you think you're playing as a unit through 2 games? And talk about the challenge that will face you next week. Both of you, let me start with Boogie.
I feel like we're doing pretty good. We just got to really buy into to our defense concepts and stuff, not allowing offensive rebounds. That's what it's going to come down to, and just doing the little things and just playing together and knowing that it could be anybody's night, and it's all about sacrifice with us. So I feel like if we sacrifice, we're all going to be good together, and we lock up on D, and we'll be okay. We'll be fine. We'll be a great team.
Yeah, going back to the way he said, we all just got to sacrifice and don't let our egos get in the way, because, we'll never know who night it is. So whoever the guy night is, we got to make sure to keep giving him the ball and just make sure our egos don't interrupt what we were trying to do Tuesday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Question for either one of y'all. With so much skill on this team, just kind of tell me how big is communication and maybe one or two of the key players that kind of keep y'all together.
Communication is a big deal with the team, especially because we're a very young team. Communication just helps us. It helps me play better. I feel like when I'm not talking, I don't play very well. So I feel like communication is great for us, and just having great leaders. Everybody is good when we're communicating.
Coach will make an opening statement, and we'll take questions.
I know as much as you guys want to ask me about James, I have to be solid on that because it's an ongoing process. I wish I could talk about it, but we just have to stay solid about it until we move forward. So anybody asking me questions, I'll just have to move past it and say I can't talk about it right now. But other than that, really proud of the young guys. Did some really special stuff out there on the floor defensively tonight. The only, the down, if I had any downs, was again 16 offensive rebounds, but I get it with young guys. When you're blowing teams out, you start not focusing on the small things, you start doing things you want to do, and we're not good enough to do that yet because we're about to go on the road and get a test. But other than that, to hold them to 24% from the field for the game, just to me, is major. Obviously, we didn't shoot free throws well tonight. We shot 90% last game and didn't shoot so well this game. So, we got to clean some things up. But having a young team, I'm really proud that they could just take their games to different levels every game.
Coach, I know you can't comment on the situation specifically, but how tough was it to come out and coach after a tough day like that?
It just is what it is. We know we have to focus to come out. We still had a task ahead of us, and UIC, even though they were down players, they were definitely capable. Especially if their better players got hot tonight, and we did a great job on him. So, we knew we had to stay locked in no matter what was going on.
Coach, you mentioned about bad habits. How worried are you about that throughout the season as you blow teams out, picking up?
I'm a little worried about that because young teams, man, they're not getting the point that it's not about this game. It's about going forward and how we have to win. Most teams in our league, especially, their offensive rebounds is a part of their offense. And you got to box out or you got to get in the fight and get rebounds. So I don't like it when I see 16, 17, 23 offensive rebounds in games for the opposing team.
Penny, I understand you have to be silent about this, but I just got to ask, why was the decision made to allow him to play tonight, and will he continue to play while the injunction is in place?
I can't talk about the first part, but he will continue to play.
All right, Penny. Maybe a conversation maybe during the start of the season. Today, we've seen a lot of rotation going on with these young guys, and with so much talent, it looked like you're handling it well. But my question to you is, do you actually have a starting lineup, or you just go with the flow every game?
Well, yeah, this is our starting lineup right now. Like I said last game, obviously DJ Jeffries, Alex Lomax, and Tyler Harris, those guys. Alex Lomax and Tyler Harris started 10 games, 11 games last year and played a lot of minutes. DJ Jeffries was in the starting lineup. It's just all about groups. And I think right now we have a good starting lineup, and the group coming off the bench is really good as well. And, tonight everybody played because when you're blowing teams out, you got to see where everybody is. It's not going to be a steady diet of one or two guys in these type of games. Any given night, it could be anybody. But we knew that they were going to play James differently. We knew that they weren't going to give him the lobs. We knew they were going to play him physical. It happened all through high school. Them trying to take his legs out, push him off the block, not let him rim run, and he's going to be the focus. So now these other guys, are more than capable. So if you're going to do that to James, then we're going to kill you from out here. So that's how the team should be thinking, and James should still keep playing hard, which he did.
Penny, as a player, obviously you played in hostile environments, and while you're not playing on Oregon's campus, you are going to the state of Oregon, and we know how students can be, especially when they have some things that they can knock you on. How are you going to prepare your team, knowing that you're going into this hostile environment, their first road game, and again, things that are happening today certainly will be used against you by that crowd?
Well, we'll definitely have a great game plan, and we'll try to prepare this young team as much as we can. But obviously, when you get to the game, you can't say what's going to happen when they finally get to the game. All we're going to do is just try to keep our principles in front of us offensively and defensively. Things are going to be said everywhere, but we have to stay focused on what we're doing.
Hey, Coach, who has a game plan against Oregon, and what scares you about Oregon?
Coach Topper has the game plan against Oregon, and what scares me about them is Peyton Pritchard. He's a guy that can go for 40 points. He showed that last year in the Pac-12 tournament and in the NCAA tournament. He can get going, and he's a dangerous player, and they set a lot of screens for him. And he's not the only player on the team, but he's definitely the head of the snake, and he scares us for sure.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.